Hello friends, welcome to Apex Chess Academy. Today I am going to teach you one topic, strong center, taking advantage of strong center. Yes, so today we'll see the game of Pulugavsky versus Dorfman. Okay, so let's start. D4, D5, Knight F3, Knight F6, C4. And now here, the first inaccuracy by black player. Black played G6. Now, if you compare this structure with the Grunfeld, the important difference is, let's say d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3 and d5. The difference is white has committed his knight on c3, not on f3 as compared to our variation. The difference is after cd5, knight d5 and e4, knight c3, bc3, black has bishop g7, castle and c5, and black just wants to improve his strong bishop on g7, and there is a weakness on c3. Now if you compare this structure with the game after d4 d5, knight f3, knight f6, c4 g6, the difference is after cd5, knight d5 and e4, black cannot take on c3. That is what the important difference. Okay, so after e4, white has a strong center right from the opening, and how you can take advantage of strong center, that's what I am going to show you today. So after e4, knight b6. Okay, so you can just think here which is the correct move. So you can just pause and try to figure it out. Yes, so it's possible to go for a normal development with knight c3, but which allows bishop g4. Instead, if you play h3, what you are doing? We are just not allowing bishop g4, so that you are basically strengthening your center. So yes, by playing a wing pawn, you can strengthen your center. So by playing h3, we are giving basically a strong support to d4. We are not allowing bishop g4. If we allow bishop g4, bishop g7, knight c6, it put pressure on d4. While if you play h3, you have two benefits. One, you are playing against the light square bishop, so that light square bishop remains dull for the rest of the game. And the second stuff, you are simply keeping your center intact. That is even stronger part. Okay, so h3, bishop g7, now knight c3, castle. And here, what should I do? Yes, there are lots of moves, but light square bishop has only one good square e2, while the dark square bishop has three good squares. So I would just recommend you to play bishop e2 and keep flexibility for your dark square bishop. Now bishop e6, short castle, and bishop c4. So black has basically less space, so black just wants to exchange few pieces. Okay, so here again, just pause the video and try to find out the best move as white. So after bishop c4, here you may play b3, but in case of b3, basically you are simply keeping your knight a little bit loose for the rest of the game, and you are weakening your basically a1 h8 diagonal. So it is ideal not to play b3 and just play some normal move like according to scanning technique. Okay, I already told my previous videos in my previous videos what is scanning technique, right? So here in my previous videos I told you about the scanning technique. Here you should simply connect your rooks and just try to achieve, like, okay, if you just play b3 is going to play bishop e2, your diagonal is weak. Instead, if you start with bishop c4, knight c4 and queen e2, you are not weakening any diagonal. Your knight on c3 is not loose, it is defended by the b2 pawn. Now the knight has to move somewhere, for example knight b6 back. Again, you see, you have two good options. You can either develop your bishop or you can develop your rook. So if you develop your bishop has three squares, either e3, f4 or g5. Rook has only one good square, that is d1. So again, which piece you need to move first? Yes, the rook. Rook d1. Give flexibility for the bishop once again. So rook d1, rook 8 d7, and now bishop g5. Just finally we took a decision of this. Now c6. And this is another crucial point where you can think and pause the video. You can just, you can just take your time and then you just check the solution. Now, which are the ideal moves or which are the candidate moves here? So one of the simplest move I would consider is simple rook c1 according to scanning technique. So that is good enough, not bad of course. The second idea that you can think is d5. You are just breaking the center when you are well developed. Again, the concept of Bahubali, which I already told you in my previous videos. Whenever you have development advantage, break the center with the move d5. Okay. The player who don't know about the concept of Bahubali can just write in the comment section so I can just teach you that concept in future as well. Okay, so after d5, basically you are just opening the center, and so your pieces are well developed, well placed, so you will get benefit. Um, Even the better way to continue here is a4. Now, why a4 is even better than rook c1 or d5? Because after a4, we are just kicking this well developed knight on b6 with a5 next move, and once the knight goes to even a passive square on c8, again compare the state of the piece. Now what is state of the piece? Knight on b6 is a little bit active, but if we kick it with a4 a5, knight goes back to c8. Now this knight is even passive, and so here we can just take a pawn break after a4 a5, and then only we'll play d5, which is even stronger, right? And if after a4, if black plays a5 on move number 14, then after d5, c d5, knight d5, you can just transfer your knight or queen to b5. That square is permanent weak. The concept of drawback, right? So here knight d5 and white has advantage. In game after a4, black played queen e8. I don't like this move, but okay, we can't comment on. Strong grandmaster like Dorfman is a 25-20 25-50 when this game was played in 1978, but I don't like the move queen e8 in fact. Okay, so just a5, knight c8, and now you see you just have a total domination. White has achieved a beautiful position, just punishing for one bad move in the opening g6, and white has a very strong center d4 and e4. So I have put a separate playlist for one bad move in the opening, punishing the bad move in the opening, so you can just check on above I button. So after knight c8, d5, again the same theme, the concept of development advantage, and we should break the center, so d5. Now a6 was played, and now you can just pause the video and again try to find out the best move. Yes, it's e5. We are just basically try to lift our rook with rook a4, rook h4, and we are keeping all the pieces bad. Now knight d6 is not possible. We are just restricting this dark square bishop 2, and after h6, bishop h4, the normal move, e6, and of course we just close with d6 and keeping this knight bad. And once this knight is not moving, that means this rook on 8 remains bad on a8. So simply rook is stuck on a8. Now g5, bishop g3, and now f5. So here you can just pause the video and try to find out the best move as white. Yes, so again the same concept, when you have better development, you should break the center. So just go for ef6, rook f6, And now finally you can just lift your rook to a4, bringing another resource into the game. And next move we are just trying to achieve h4. Okay, now knight a7 and h4 finally takes rook into h4. And now see, all pieces are just attacking black's lonely king. Knight b5. And okay, again there are basically 2 to 3 candidate moves. You can just pause the video and again find out the best move. Yes, so there are basically 2 3 good ideas. One is knight e4, just attacking the rook, transferring your one more piece towards the king side. That looks ideal. Another good idea is knight e5, eliminating the defender who is stopping your passed pawn. That is another important concept. So knight e5, that is also very good idea. But I like the most, which is bishop e5, which is even strong. Now, why which is even stronger? Because after bishop e5, we are eliminating the dark square bishop, the defender of the king, and the h6 pawn. So if it exchange this defender with bishop e5, okay, again you cannot play knight into e5 because knight into e5, which allows d7 next move. So again we are eliminating the defender of my pass pawn, and I am eliminating the defender of weak h6 pawn. So basically, if I play knight e5 instead of bishop e5 on move number 25, then I can only eliminate the defender of my pass pawn. While if I am playing bishop e5, I am eliminating the g7 bishop and the d7 knight. So after bishop e5, rook g6, bishop g7, king g7, and now only knight e5, eliminating the blockader 2. Knight e5, knight c3, bc3, rook g5. Okay, knight e5 is of course not good instead of rook g5 because knight e5, queen e5, just king h7 and probably d7 that wins, followed by rook f4. So rook g5 and now f4. Maybe it's possible to start with rook g4 as well, but f4 that looks good. We are just giving the strength to our centralized knight. Again, if we compare the state of the piece, our knight on e5 is far better than knight on d7, but still we are exchanging. We are ready to exchange because just we want to create a pass pawn on d6. Okay, so just we want to achieve d7. So f4. Now rook f5. And then again there are two ways to finish this game, either with g4 or with queen g4. G4 basically weakens my king. Maybe it's possible, but I personally feel that queen g4 is better way to finish, and that's what played in game. Queen g4 check, king h7. And after king h7, there are basically a few ways to again finish. So you can just pause the video and try to find out the best move. Yeah, there are basically two good ways to continue. One is just rook d3 and try to attack the loose pawn in black's camp, and the loose pawn is h6. So you can attack with rook d3, that is one good move, but it takes two moves to attack this h6 pawn, right? While here, if you start with queen h3, it takes only one move to attack the loose pawn. So always try to play um, the fast attacking moves. Okay, so queen h3, that looks good. Now rook f6, and again natural knight g4 attacking rook and the pawn. And next move is simple rook h6, and which simply decides the game. So here black tried queen f8, but it is still not sufficient to hold, because after queen f8 I can simply win exchange after knight into f6, queen into f6, and now rook e1. So just bringing the rook on a semi-open file, we are just targeting the weak pawn on e6, and after knight f8 we just bring another resource to attack this weak h6 pawn after rook e5, king g7, and now rook e h5, and finally black resign. Hope you have enjoyed this video based on strong center. So how to take benefit, how to take advantage of this strong center. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, so don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you friends.